I think the ball's got to move even better offensively. We've got to do an even better job of getting to the offensive glass. I think just playing competitive longer, a longer period of time, and really understanding that it's not just about how hard you play, it's how competitive you are. It's winning those battles when the shot goes up. It's getting back when you're tired and making sure we've got the rim covered and the ball stopped in transition. I think it's just making sure that's what our focus has been this week is understanding what fatigue is and what fatigue isn't, right? And a lot of times it's so mental, you've got to be able to overcome it. And you've got to be able to practice through it, you've got to be able to get through it, you've got to be able to execute through it. And I think, frankly, at the end of the game last week, because we had some tough practices, those guys were able to bear down and figure out a way to get the win at the end. And so you've got to continue to build on that, especially with what we have coming up with 2 games this week, and then obviously the Georgia Tech game, then 3 games in 3 days. So to me, it's the execution. We're still building chemistry. We're still building a synergy on the court. I think that's going to take time. But you want a cleaner game, all right, in the sense of crisper passing, better cuts, better shots, better communication on defense. That's what I mean by a cleaner game. But this is going to be a hard challenge. This team averaged 12.3 threes a game last year. I think they were second or third in the country in made threes, and first or second in attempted threes. They play fast. 50% of their shots are threes. So Duggar has always played extremely fast, and they mix defenses. And I think I say all that, and we're probably going to see a myriad of things tomorrow night that we're going to have to navigate defensively, and we're going to have to be fantastic at challenging 3-point shots, stopping penetration, and getting back on defense.
You mentioned team chemistry. You got 3 different guys that bring the ball up. Can you just talk about what you lose maybe in consistency versus what you gain in the versatility?
No, not yet. I don't look at it that way. We want to get the ball. You earn bust-out dribbles on this team. You earn corner threes on this team. There's certain things you've got to earn as you go along the way. What we've got to get better at, and I thought we did inside of that game, was running without the basketball. And it's the biggest thing about our break is not who has it, it's how well is it getting thrown ahead. That's where we've got on. There'd be something that I would say that we've got to get better at, right, from game 1 to game 2, throwing the ball ahead. And when you've got guards that are used to having the ball in their hands a lot, they're used to bringing it up the court. Instead of understanding how quick you got to get it up, move without it, get it back, play out of it. And that's what we're trying to get all of these guys, especially the younger guys that we have, to understand that. But to me, it's quicker ball movement, it's better cuts, it's making sure that ball's getting reversed and the ball can't sit where they think, okay, I've got to play now. No, we got to let the offense create the play. We got to let the concepts create the play. We got to let the ball create the play. And that's what we want to have happen, and the cutting to create the play.
Coach, I think we've all been impressed with Savir's maturity, his intelligence. Can you elaborate on that and how important that is?
He's a winner. He's a pure winner. He always has been. And he's infectious. People like playing with him. He moves the ball. He works extremely hard. And what I like is he's controlling what he can control. He's making passes. He's defending at a really high rate. He's getting into the lane. Very unselfish, and has just a level of toughness about him. And he's got a very strong mental toughness about him. Not to mention just to go along with his physical strength. So he's he played his first college game the other night like so many of the rest of them, and I think he'll just keep getting better and better.
Those guys like Donnell and Anthony and Savir that are bringing the ball up the court, what do you see that's different about them when they bring to that position? How much over the course of a game do you kind of evaluate which one's going to do it more based on what the other team is giving you?
How well it's moving, how quick the ball is moving, how quick we're getting it up the court, who's making decisions. There's a lot of right now, going 90-60 to 90 or 90 or 60-30 to 90, right? In the speed of it. And not just 90-90-90, but not just 30-30-60, right? You've got to mix it up. And that change of direction, change of pace, all those things that go into it are a huge part of that. But the bottom line is it's got to be thrown ahead, and we've got to get the game moving on offense.
Following up on Savir and his maturity and his qualities that you mentioned there, is that something that y'all saw right when he got here? When was there kind of like a moment in practice?
No, I don't think it's like that. I think that's just who he is. I think we saw it in recruiting, and certainly I've been aware of him. He was going to Texas A&M, but I'd been aware of him. I'd seen their team. And once he became available, we just dove in completely into studying his game. And you could just see the personality that he had on the floor, the way all his coaches felt about him. So I don't think it's been anything that's really just kind of come alive in practice. I think he's just getting better and better every day in practice.
What is that, how, as a coach, when you're looking at, you're obviously looking at a guy's talent, but there's all that sort of, the other parts of them
Sure.
that make them the player they are. And again, it's sort of rare when you see a freshman who's wants to be a GM in the NBA one day, and just some of the things, like you said, we talking about with the maturity, and how important is that to become, when you're evaluating a player.
The key with a kid like that is never to lose his confidence, because he's got really good confidence. And so the bottom line is that you continue to build on his confidence, and that you continue to build on his belief of what he can do and he's capable of. But I mean, he walks in the gym and he feels like he can play, and I think he would feel like that in Athens, Georgia, or in Athens, Greece, right? I mean, that's what he's going to do. I mean, he feels that way. And I think that's pretty good, wasn't it, Mike? Came up with that quickly, because I did not know that question coming. That was pretty good. I'm going to use it again, though. But that's the bottom line with a kid like that. I mean, our job is to enhance and expand his skills, keep building on his confidence, keep showing him different ways to play, improving his game. And his job is to just keep being that infectious personality, that energizer that he is, and that tough guy that he is, and just keep making impacting his teammates. Whether he's